Loki Enemy number 1. Hello, I know this calendar has a lot of stories in it, but this is the only one you really need. It is, after all, about the greatest hero of all time, me. What story shall I tell you? I have so many good ones. There's the time I humiliated Thor, the time I beat all the Avengers, maybe the time I beat up the Hulk. Wait, I know. What's a good hero without a great enemy? I tell you the story of my greatest foe, a real dastardly villain. That's a picture of Loki. Once upon a time, giant wolves with terrible teeth and claws like knives attacked the lands outside of Asgard. Things had become so bad that a group of Asgard's greatest hunters were gathering to go out and hunt the wolves. My brother Thor, being more brave than bright, wanted to join them, but they told him he was too young. "You're the Prince of Asgard," I told him. "You don't need their permission. Let's go together, brother, and win the glory for ourselves." Thor agreed, and so we went. Pictures of Thor and the other heroes. On the way, I had the best idea for a prank. I replaced Thor's sword with a thick sword that would break as soon as he started fighting. The wolves would almost certainly eat him. It should have been a great joke. Then she had to come along and ruin everything. We found this farm girl with long blonde hair fighting the wolves with a stick. Of course, Thor just had to help her. There's the girl. My plan worked perfectly. As soon as Thor hit one of the wolves with the sword, the whole blade shattered. He would have been helpless, except that there came the girl with her stick. First she defeated him, then they started working together. Thor asked me to help, so I had to pretend. I threw a fireball that went sailing off into the sky, nowhere near the wolves. Imagine my surprise when the hunters from Asgard saw it and came to save us. Joy. The picture of Thor, I think. I was annoyed, but at least I would never see the farm girl again, right? Wrong! It turns out she's actually a lady of Asgard. Her name was Sif, and she was the worst. To make matters worse, Thor wouldn't stop talking about her. It was all Sif this, or following golden locks that. The only thing more obnoxious than my brother Thor is that my brother Thor in love. It's my brother Thor in love. Gross! Thor and Sif started hanging out all the time. Pretty soon she was putting ideas in his head. "I'm sure Loki has your best interests in mind," Thor, she would say, "but roasting marshmallows on Earth sounds dangerous. Wouldn't you rather spar with me?" She was doing it all on purpose. She was interfering with all my plans. I had to find her to make her stop. It's picture 4 and then 4 and hero. Being a genius I am, I had the perfect plan. In the middle of the night, I would use the magic to steal every strand of that beautiful golden hair Thor loved so much. Then I'd sneak away. Neither Sif nor Thor would ever suspect me. Once Thor stopped spending all his time with her, I could go back to try to maroon him with frost giants. It almost worked too. On the way, I must have made a noise because I heard I was a roar like a wild animal, and Sif catapulted across the room in no time. She tackled me in the middle of the room. I was so surprised I couldn't even defend myself. She pinned me down and started yelling, "Why did you do this? I've been nothing but nice to you." Her voice was ear-splitting. Pictures of Loki and pictures of Loki fighting Sif. Thor was the first one to come running. He tried to save me from the bold attacker, but when he saw it was Sif, he stopped. Our mum and dad, Rhoda and Odin, rushed in next. Sif told them what had happened. "I can replace it," I yelled, hoping that would get her off me. "Where we were, Odin, you have 1 day to replace Sif's hair, or shall I grant her revenge." Thing is, making something reappear is a lot harder than making it disappear. A picture of Thor, Odin, and them fighting on the floor. I didn't know where one could get a head full of hair, so I figured I'd try the dwarves of Nidavellir. Dwarves can make anything. They're also very rude. I tried all of the top smiths, and they all said we're too busy to work with the trickster. So I took one last shot at the dwarves, and he was the second best smith. At first he refused until I said, I heard you were the second best smith. I know what that's like. I've been Odin's second best son my whole life. Maybe if we work together, we can both be the best today. That got his attention. He started working right away. The smith and Loki. You know, a few hours later, he had a crown with a head full of blonde hair. He handed it to me, saying, all you need to do is place this on her head, and they'll have a full head of blonde hair again. Now, about my payment. I didn't say anything about payment. I laughed, snapped my fingers, and disappeared. What a chump. Picture of Loki. When I get home, I called for a little ceremony so that all the gods could appreciate genius and Sif's shiny hair. I placed the beautiful crown and Sif said, saying, I, Loki, Prince of Asgard, God of Mischief, I only apologise to Lady Sif for taking your hair. To make amends, I replaced it with this finely crafted crown and hair. Picture of them together and him placing the crown on my head. Unfortunately, the dwarfsmith had enchanted the crown, though I might betray him, since I had not paid him. Sif's golden locks turned raven black. Honestly, I thought she looked better that way. I've always been partial to dark hair. She was not so happy and tried to stab me, but Odin stopped her. Loki swore he would replace your hair, and he has. There's no problem about the colour of the hair. Odin's voice boomed. She couldn't stab me, but Sif pulled me close and said, I'll see to it that you're never trusted again. No matter what you do, I'll stop you. So if you read this far, you probably already guessed my greatest villain is. Who did you guess? That's right, it's me. I'm my own worst enemy. I learned that day, if you're going to play pranks, you shouldn't break anything you can't fix. They're good tricks that always needs to think 2 steps ahead. Loki.